Hello, welcome to another grow tent tour. Well, this is more of an update than a tour, uh, but we're going to be looking at some of the pictures that we're developing in the last tour video, and have popped, expanded, and coloured up now, and are worth having a look at. So first off, I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched my last video, and especially thank you to all of you who liked it, left a comment and some positive feedback. And yeah, I really appreciate all the kind words. So yeah, we're gonna have a look at some more today. No, it's not actually been that long since the last one, but there's some things if I don't show them now, they're gonna be well past their best. So yeah, it's one of those, you've got to decide how to time it because everything's aging, and some things are popping. So you wanna show it when there's some really nice fresh ones that are looking the best, but not at the time when others have really gone past their best. So yeah, it's just one of those really. But yeah, let's get stuck in then. So yeah, there's this feature eye that I showed you last time. I think it was the first one that I showed. Not quite as flared as the last one, but still kind of nice. See, that one's a little nicer in terms of flare anyway. Yeah, so well, we might as well start with a really good one actually. I kept you waiting last time, but let's start with something that I find really nice anyway. This one I showed you in the last video. It was I showed you an aged picture which didn't really look like much, but this is what they look like fairly soon after they pop. Now I absolutely love this. Now you can tell there's mollis in there, right? Mollis is extremely strong in its hybrids apparently. But this is a bit of an alphabeti spaghetti name, or an algebra name, or there's a few words for these plants flying around now. They're really complex hybrids. But this is a Rocco exotica boschiana, Rocco zacchariana spectabilis trismadiensis, Loevice boschiana, Maxima Miro, cross mollis. Always fun to say. It's probably a good idea I get this one out of the way with as well, with that kind of name. Right at the start. But yeah, the colours, the stripes. Again, when this thing gets bigger, it should really, really look like something. Again, I mentioned before, Ollie's at Scotland Carnivorous Plants. He's got an incredible individual of this particular cross. But yeah, I've only had this for, what did I say, year and a couple of months, something like that. So it's settled in nicely. They do take a while to settle in. That's the thing. Some of them more than others. But when they do, you know it, and they just go crazy. Another one that's popped since last time that I said last time it was working on one. It should put out a nice one. This is the Maxima Cross Babigia that I showed last time. It's still not quite finished colouring up yet. It still looks really, really nice, but it's not quite at its best. And I'll show you what I mean with one of the older pictures, like the one that I showed last time. Still very, very nice. But this was the last picture. And I think you can see what I mean with that deep red with the sunburst in the middle. Obviously you can see it's full of fluid. Yeah, I do tend to feed the older pictures, and quite heavily at that. But yeah, just got a glimpse of this one again. Oh, again, it's one of those where the camera just doesn't really seem to do it justice at all. In person, this thing's incredible. I'm well happy with it. This Truncator's working on one as well. I showed you the last one in the last video, which is already looking really aged at the minute. Some things happened in the tent, I'm not exactly sure what, and you know how you get mould on some of the peristomes? Like, let's see, a good example here, where just, I don't know, out of nowhere, you just get all this black soot mould and a bit of white mould and stuff. I can go long periods without really having any, and then I'm not sure exactly what causes it. I do have pretty good airflow in here, and even when the airflow doesn't change, like I will all of a sudden get the black soot mould. So Yep, not sure what's going on there. Maybe one day I'll figure it out. Right, up here. This one was, it just opened, but it wasn't looking too great last time. The Glibberata. Oh no, I'm knocking the vine over. See, I'm trying to get it to wrap around and grow up this pole in the middle, you see. Let me just try and get it out of the way. No, it's not having it. I might have to deal with it afterwards. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's nearly hitting the roof of the tent now. But I don't know. It goes through phases of really not being happy. I'm just going to assume it's pests. I did say last time I was going to blast all of them for mites. Still haven't got around to that yet. It's always the case of getting around to things eventually in this tent. But yeah, really nice. It's got a couple of little like a black spot at the back and marks on the peristome or whatever, but it's looking alright. And it's just working on another one with the funny little lids. Yeah, I'm going to assume pests and blast them all and see if that does anything. Tell you what, I'll move over to this shelf next. There's some nice things on here actually at the minute. Yeah, let's go straight for this one actually. So I showed you this one last time, the Truncata Cross Maxima Spectabilis. Yeah, this is tied to here because again I fill the pictures with fertilizer and fluid and stuff, so they do end up being a little bit heavy and they can make them tip to one side. Again, really healthy plant. If the newer leaves don't seem to, mind too much the bright light, but as they age, they end up spotting up like this. But this is very, very bright that it's in at the minute. But as you can see, it doesn't seem to stop it producing nice pictures. So yeah, really liking that at the minute. Definitely chuffed with how it's turning out. Again, with the Truncata parent, well, and Maxima and Spectabilis can put some good size into the hybrids as well. Like, what was it? One of the biggest pictures that EP ever produced, well, one of the plants produced, not them, was a Truncata Giant cross Spectabilis Northiana. So with the Truncata and Spectabilis in here, there's a pretty good chance of being a big in this. But yeah, I don't know, it's almost got a Loei cross Campanulata vibe to it. I don't know if you know what I mean. That big wide mouth. Anyway, yeah, that's probably enough of that one. Over here, the Spectabilis cross Babidja just produced a new one. This is opened up and coloured up nicely. See, it's really, really nice. I am really happy with this one. But it's quite simple coloration in the peristome, if you know what I mean. It's not like tricolour like some of them or anything like that. But I imagine it's one of those where, as it gets bigger, it'll have more complex colour. That's one of the old ones. This is the plant. It's just part of a nice big leaf. Definitely the biggest leaf it's had so far. So it seems healthy enough. Quite happy there. Oh yeah, I showed you this. Yeah, this LVB BMB cross Northiana last time. But that's still looking nice. See, this is the thing, right? This was the newest picture. So I haven't fed this one. I haven't put anything in it. But the older picture, which again I showed you in the last one, I fed since the last video, and you can see it's just melted the picture. Even though it still looked nice, yeah, I feel like I need a delivery method for fertilizer that isn't the roots. I don't know, I'm just really scared to fertilize the roots too much. I think I overdid it once, and it was it was a negative experience. So yeah, I learned from that, and I definitely err on the side of caution now. But when it comes to older pictures, I haven't really had any negative experience, so I obliterate the older pictures with fertilizer sometimes, just as a bit of a experiment. Let's get this one out. It's not attached to that tendril, is it? Where is it? Okay, I've already knackered this tendril then. Look at that. There's a right kink in it. Oh well, never mind. I guess it's happening now. Yeah, this is another one. I think it's opened just fresh since the last one. but now it's started aging up because because it has been a few weeks since the last video. But this is Spathulata crossbeard Betty. I did show you another picture in the last one, but I think that picture might have melted by now. Is it that one? Yeah, I think it's this picture that's melted. Never mind. But yeah, that's just how I approach it, you know. We all have different approaches, and this is what I've been experimenting with and had success with. So obviously I just keep doing it. I will show you this one as well. I'll give you the quick story behind it there first. Bought this one from Matt Richardson what will it have been? I want to say 3 years ago, maybe more. 3.5, 2.5, 3, somewhere between 2.5, 3.5 years ago, I would guess. But so I got this Babigia cross Strasmadiensis EP from Matt, and one day I came home and this whole shelf here with the Truncata Veitchii, Loewi Truncata, and LVB Veitchii, they all fell onto the plants below. And the only casualty was this Babigia cross Strasmadiensis. All the rest were fine, apart from maybe a slight ripped leaf or whatever. But ever since then, you can see where it's snapped here, and it's got a basil at the bottom that you can just about see that's activated, and it's got this side growth that's activated here as well. So, I mean, it seems fine now, you know. And then obviously I took the top cutting over here, which has been rooting nicely since that happened. You know what, I can't actually remember when that happened now. It was a long time ago, but I didn't make a note of it. But yeah, so I took the top cutting and I chopped into it, you know, the stem to a point where it wasn't just the brown woody part of the stem, because, you know, it's going to be harder to root that. So I chopped up until it was a point where it looks, you know, good to root. And then I chopped off the brown woody part of the stem. So I did have a section of that, which I thought, you know what, I'll just chuck it in water and see what happens. So I did, and I did not expect at all. I thought there may be like a 10% chance or something like that. But this piece of woody stem has activated a couple of growth points. Well, if it focuses, this main one here, look, and this other little one here. I mean, even activating one, I was kind of shocked, but, you know. And you can see the roots here as well. It's still just in water, but it's getting secondary roots now. So I think I'll just give it a little bit longer before I end up potting this little thing up. And then that'll be available to trade or sell. Or we'll see. We'll figure something to do with it anyway. So the top cutting is still in this bag rooting. I'll pop it out to show you. It's just made a new picture actually, so it's good timing really. You can see here, it's just in pure sphagnum. I do like rooting in pure sphagnum for whatever reason. The plants seem to like it. And it does have a picture in here as well, which I'll see if you can really, no, you can't really see it on the camera in there, can you? I'm gonna have to pop it out, aren't I? Right, okay, let's do this then. I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand actually, you know. Actually, if I can do this, hold my phone with my knees. Is that working? Is it just the most ridiculous shot in the world, or? Come on, come out. You can do it. It'll be worth the wait, honestly, I'm sure. It better be anyway, otherwise you'll be, you know, disappointed for all this. But I am, like, literally, when I first got it, this was already, like, one of my favourite plants in the whole collection. So, to see it finally starting to get there, the first pictures I got with it, you can see on Instagram. Trying to do it carefully, you know, as well, because we're doing it though, we're going to get it. Right, there we go, finally. Let's make sure that'll do. Okay, I don't know what you're looking at the whole time, but there we go. So this is Babigia cross Strasmadiensis. Again, a long way off what it's going to be and what it did look like when I first got it, obviously, since it snapped. But this is making big steps. And I'm very happy with the direction it's going. It's got another tendril coming out of the bag, so it's going to be working on another one soon. But yeah, so this is needed probably putting up for a little while actually. It's not ideal, but like pretty much everything in this tent, it's a case of it'll get done eventually, you know, just one of those things. Yeah. Right, where to next? I'll tell you what, we'll do the Peltata Giant cross Platykyla wide peristome. So I'll get the older picture up and put it next to the newest picture actually, because it always looks kind of nice when you pop them together. Alright, so this is the oldest one on the right. An older one. The one on the left's the newest, and the one on the right was the one before it. So the one before it's actually more flared, and in some ways kind of looks a bit more Platykyla-like, more chunky in the peristome. So, I don't know. But then I have moved it, to be fair. Like, since the last video, I don't know if you were paying attention, if you remember, but the whole plant, the Peltata cross Platykyla, was hanging over the rest of the plants over here. But I've obviously put some string here now and tied it back a bit closer to the wall. Because again, like I mentioned in the last video, I want my tall vining plants to be at the sides. Because I know Penda mentioned, I think it was on my Instagram actually, that what I should probably do is have extra shelving units, extra racking at either side of the walls there. But I just don't think that's going to work for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, where I've got the lights set up, I think it would just be too bright, and it would be maybe a slightly less efficient use of space for the way I've got things set up. And I do really want the whole thing to look like a display, you know, like a cascade of plants, you know, coming from, sorry for the camera work being a bit jerky, a cascade of plants coming down there. That's the kind of, you know, vibe that I'm going for. So I have like some of the smaller plants around the front, slightly medium and bigger at the bottom there. Some quite big ones here because they're just the showiest ones that you want to, you know, you want to have on display the most. And then the taller vining plants at the sides here, like this Bibbergia cross Veitchii has just got shoved in the corner because it's tall and vining and it needs to go somewhere, but it seems fine. Royal Risto Spec vining up there. Spathulata Spectabilis vining up there. Alba Marginata going all the way up there. So, and like I mentioned before as well in the other video, I've got these other vines coming up the middle here. There's about 4-5 plants, including that glabrata look there, that I'm hoping that's sort of attached to this pole, or I'll tie them to it or something like that. And then I've got the other ones at this side on this wall that are growing up the side like that. I don't know, it seems like the best use of space and the best use of light for me. I don't know. I'm not the most organised. I'm not the best at coming up with these things, but I think in general I'm kind of doing all right in terms of how the plants are doing. But I don't like to, you know, say too many positive things about myself. I don't like to, you know, toot my own horn or whatever it is to say. This little thing here, actually, I missed this one, is the biggest seedling of my batch of, what was it, Veitchii Platykyla cross Veitchii Bibbergia. These are some from seeds from Tom Bennett. And yeah, it's looking really good. It's got some nice tricolour in the peristome. It probably won't be as, in general, they probably won't be as amazing as the Veitchii Platycross Candy Dreams, but some of these out of this batch, Grex, this cross, some of them will be incredible. Like, yeah, it's how it goes sometimes. The more different the parents are, the more variable the offspring are, and some of them you get, you know, exactly the traits that you want from both parents. Some of them you get like the traits you want from neither parents, you know. It's just how it goes. And this really does have some potential. So I don't expect all of them to be showstoppers, but some of them will be, you know, really something. But yeah, obviously really red because it's way too close to the line. They're not thrilled about it, but they're surviving. Let's show this actually. A little Cibunensis picture here. It's working on another one, or it might be the plant next to it, I'm not sure, but camera work. So that's a lovely little Cib. I've got 2 of these as well, little seed grown ones, so I might end up selling one of them at some point later this year, we'll see. Yes, right. Don't think there's much else to show on this shelf. So, no doubt I've probably missed something again, but oh well. Right, we'll pop over here actually. I was intending for this to be a shorter video, but we're already at 21 minutes according to my thing, and there's still a good few things to go, so, well, what can you do? So yeah, this one now. This was one that was being worked on in the last video that I showed you. This is Loevicia Boschiana Crossvici M from EP, one of the 2021 import plants. It does look really nice. It's not the best it's put out actually. I think the picture before when it was fresh looked nicer, but it is starting to move towards uppers. It's getting that the longer internodes, you know, the gaps between the leaves. So I'm assuming that's probably why. So when it produces a basil and has nice big basil pictures, it'll probably look its best again. But it's still really, really nice. And as it gets bigger, yeah, I'm expecting, again, really good things. I showed this one in the last one. It hasn't made a new picture yet, but it was freshly opened last time and it still had a little bit of folding back to do. So this one's folded back fully now. It's started aging, but still not far past its best. Nice, come on, focus. Yeah. Again, one of my favourites in the collection just because of that striping, that flare. And yep, I did mention actually in the last video that I think it's a long way off uppers, but I might have been mistaken. This is the plant at the minute, and you can see the internodes are getting longer as it's starting to vine. And it's put out tendril down here, and this is looking like a first, you know, intermediate / upper, you know. So I think we're getting there. Exciting times, because again, it's because of the platychila parent. The uppers are the ones that are going to be the ones that are, you know, the best on this plant. I also showed you the LBBVMV in the last one. So this is how it's aging. You can see a lot of that mold going on. But you can also see how, you know, how much it retains that flare as it ages. It keeps it, which is just, can't ask for much better than that. But yeah, that's how it's looking as it ages. And again, not the most ideal timing, but it's just popped a fresh one, which looks like it's going to be quite a bit bigger than the last one. Because it's amazing how much they expand. Like, the amount of times a picture opens and I think to myself, oh, excuse me, and I think to myself, that's opened way too early. There's no way it's going to get big. And then it gets way bigger than the last picture, and it's like, fair play, okay. That was it I was going to say as well. So someone who commented on my last video asking about seeds, someone called Mike, and I wish I'd remembered the name of the channel actually now before doing this video. Wish I'd gone and checked it, but I believe it's Finally Outdoor Living, the name of his YouTube handle. Apologies, Mike, if I've got that wrong, but you can find him in the last video in the comments if you really want. He was asking about seeds and what seeds have I got going. And Mike was saying how they really look forward to being a bit of a mad scientist and crossing this with that and, you know, seeing what comes out. And that's exactly my excitement with these plants as well, you know. breeding really interesting looking ones together and seeing what the offspring do. Yeah, it's one of the things that really keeps me going with these plants, you know, because it's you see what other people can do with breeding. It's just, you know, to be able to come up with something like that yourself is yeah, I absolutely love the idea of it. So just a really quick talk about seeds. I haven't got too much going on, but some nice things. So yeah, if you're watching, Mike, this one's for you. I've got some. Well, this is my little seed area actually. I haven't got a lot going on. It's a mishmash of all sorts really. But Spathulata spectabilis cross maxima, which is, you know, should be okay, not super exciting. And then Spathulata spectabilis cross Platycala boschiana, which is a lovely male plant that Andy sent me pollen for. And some of those should actually be really nice, you know. And on my, in fact, no, quickly before I show you that. So I've got 2 spikes here, 2 of these flower spikes on Rob Aristo spec, which again I showed you in the last video. And is there anything worth showing at the minute on it? It's working on one at the minute. It's not the best time actually. Yeah, so on this one here, I put Loei Vici tivii cross Platycila pollen. So the one I showed you not long ago, this is the male parent. Now, unfortunately, well, we don't know yet, but it was a while ago that I put this pollen on, and the seed pods don't seem to be expanding. So I think that one might be a bust. But it's got another flower spike. The flower's just opening here, so should be getting some pollen very soon for these. And hopefully we'll have some more luck. I don't know if it's a pattern, but I think some people, the first flower spike doesn't seem to work that well. You know, the first one that a plant ever has. And then it's the ones after that that tend to be nicer. Not nicer, more successful. But I'm not sure. It's just something I've potentially noticed. But yeah, I've got a couple of. I really should label these better, to be honest. It's not ideal. These 2 at the bottom that I'm holding now. These are so this whole plant is Spathulata cross spectabilis, and these 2 are crossed with Babigia edwardsiana, which is I think it's the Babigia cross, what looks like Babigia cross villosa, the Milesiana tropicals clone, which is the same as the BE clone. So I think it's that plant anyway. But yeah, some of those should be really nice actually. A lot of the pods haven't really taken, but some of them look like they have. This one here, with the pods that have swollen nicely, this is Spathulata spectabilis cross, this one here, cross Babigia cross Vici. So it's the BE BE male Babigia cross Vici that I use for that. So again, some should be nice, you know, nothing too crazy, but should be all right. And then these 2 here, this one and this one, are Spathulata spectabilis cross Loei Vici tivii platycila. So I'm actually quite excited for these ones actually, because yeah, the Loei Vici tivii platycila that I showed you earlier, that, like, if any of those take a lot of the traits from the male parent, then there's going to be some serious nice stuff coming out, you know. What else haven't I showed you yet? Oh yeah, there's that. So I did show you last time the Vici Highland cross Maxima Stellaphylla Loei Rocco Vici. Yeah, so this thing's still, look how it keeps its colour, you know. And I've blitzed this thing with fertiliser as well. It's very, very strong fertiliser in there. And it just, every time I get this out, it just shocks me how big this thing is, because I just wasn't expecting it, you know. Maybe as it got full size, sure, but it doesn't seem like it should be full size yet, you know. So they might get bigger than that, which would be nice. That's the next one it's working on, which is already getting pretty big, and it hasn't even popped yet. So potentially some exciting times ahead. Right, and down here as well, so I showed you the Raja Vici last time. The nice BE plant. It's just put out this nice huge leaf. And I showed you a picture last time, but it was working on another one. The one it was working on last time has popped now and is looking about its best, I guess you'd say. So I'll just try and pop that out. Oof. See, again, the camera just doesn't seem to pick it up. This is quite big. This is... Wow, okay. It's definitely going a little bit more since I last checked on it. This is what I mean, it expands so much. Yeah, very, very happy with this. Great plant. And like I say, it's one of those where I put it into Kanuma and Akadama and it just exploded. It just went crazy. It's getting tons of light, tons of fertilizer. Raja and its hybrids, for me, seem to like a lot of light and a lot of fertilizer. I've come across a pattern actually. I don't know if other people have sort of noticed. I assume it's not universal, it's not across the board, but just as a bit of a potential pattern, that plants that grow bigger, they're full size, seem to like more fertilizer and potentially more light as well. I'm not sure, it's just something I've kind of noticed. Speaking of, I showed you the Raja last time actually as well. It's just had a nice big leaf jump. So this is it here, look. So this is the Raja. That's how it looked before. It was just putting a new leaf out, and this new leaf has just become crazy. It's massive. It's way bigger than the others. So I'm not exactly sure why, but this Raja is very, very happy right now. It is, like I mentioned in the last video, in Kanuma and Akadama. I repotted it, probably somewhere around 7 months ago, give or take a month. And yeah, since then it grew steadily and it picked up in pace, but now it's very settled. Yep, seems very happy. While we're over here, the basil on Glabrata just put out a nice little one, but it's already going off. So yeah, Glabrata's just, I don't know what it is. It seems fine for a while, then just tanks. Again, I'm going to say pests, and I'm going to actually blast them this time, I think. Oh yeah, another one down there. So I don't think I showed you any fresh pictures on Veitchii Lowii cross Rob Cantlii. Actually, am I going to be able to get to this with one hand? Yep, okay, we can do it. So when they're quite fresh, these things look like just about as good as, you know, things that EP make. So this is obviously a BE plant, one that I got from Ollie a few years ago now. And again, when they're fresh, that's amazing. It's really nice, and they should get, again, huge. The ones I've seen that are at a decent size, they really do get massive. So very, very excited for that one. Speaking of other ones actually that I'm excited about, the Truncata Veitchii. Yep. So again, sorry if it's all over the place. Again, just trying to like think and look around and do everything I'm doing while thinking about camera work is I'm not the best multitasker, I guess. Yeah, the last picture I showed you on Truncata Veitchii is nice, but it doesn't really, you know, look like too much. It's definitely not the nicest of them I've seen. But can I show you the tendril on that? So the tendril, I don't know if you can get an idea of thickness there, fairly thick. But then the leaf after this, over here, it was putting a tendril back there, you know, behind the plants, so it wouldn't have been able to be seen very well. So I chopped this tendril off because I thought, well, what's the point? I'll just let it put its energy into this nice picture, the next picture, sorry, which is going in front of it. And yeah, now as a result, if I can get my camera here, because there's just plants everywhere, plants in the way. Oh, excuse me. So this one, I don't, you know, you can't really appreciate how thick that tendril is. So that has some serious potential for how big this picture can get. Like the last picture was good, you know, it's big, decent size, but if all goes well with this one, you know, no hiccups, it just grows steadily, nicely. This thing could be really something special, so, so I'm keeping my eye on this thing. And if it does, it's in a prime spot as well, prime location in the tent. Look at that, like, ideal, well, near enough. So, excited about that. The next few weeks, yep, good things are going to happen. We hope, anyway. I mean, after all this build-up, could you imagine if it was just, like, not that exciting, kind of disappointing? Although we have each red cross Propagating, working on a new one. It's already got a lovely red body. I'm really hoping that's a good one, because the plant's just starting to get the longer internodes now, so it's going to be vining and producing uppers soon, which, as far as I'm aware, the uppers aren't quite as good as the lowers. So last time I showed you this Attenborough that was developing in a weird way, in a very not ideal situation. It's opened this now. Seems quite happy. Not the biggest picture it's produced, again, because it was just it was getting squashed, and it just didn't have enough space to do what it needed. So we've got another tendril coming down here though, so yeah, hopefully in the next few weeks it'll produce one that'll be really worthy of showing. Yeah, speaking of that as well, I showed you last time there was the Palawanensis was working on one, the biggest picture it's had to date, by far actually. So I will quickly pop that out for you. It's just in here. Okay, yeah, just making sure I'm not hurting the plants, damaging them in any way. So, oh, we're tipping out water. Oh. So yeah, now this seems to be a really nice Palawan. By far the biggest picture it's ever had. It just produced like silly little pictures before, but now it's actually got its act together. Oh, picture below me sliding off. Right, okay, I'll put this away. It's created like a cascade effect of things falling over. Right, okay, let's pop this back up. Oh god, there we go. Yeah, that's the thing again about it being a jungle, is it looks nice, but it's not very practical. It does come with its issues. Okay, while we okay, right, I'm going to go in this direction again, because another one I showed you last time that I was excited about a new one popping was Louis Truncata. Sorry, I'm just trying to squeeze. Oh god, I'll just knock something over, that's not good. Right, okay. Yeah, I showed you this Louis Truncata last time. It was just working on this one, but it's finally opened, coloured up. And I think it's a little bit past its best, but only a little bit. Again, the size of this thing is really getting big now. I did measure it to be, I think, a little bit... Oof, I'm losing grip on it. Yeah, this is not going the best. I measured it to be nearly 30 centimeters tall. I can't remember what that is in inches. What, like 10, 11 inches, something like that. So it should be, you know, still growing and still getting bigger. Very, very nice. Very happy with it. But god, yeah, it's just getting bigger and bigger. And from getting the plant out a couple of times to have a closer look at it and get some pictures and stuff as well, I've actually broken the leaf here, you know, by like twisting, like a torsion kind of force. And yeah, I have snapped that. It doesn't seem to be doing it too much bad, touch wood, but yeah, less than ideal. Oh, okay, let's try and squeeze out now. Okay, no broken tendrils, no casualties, we're alright. Oh yeah, so like when I'm doing that, by the way, I'm squeezing in this gap here. So if you're wondering why it's a bit of a struggle for me, squeezing in that gap without breaking any plants. Yeah, I like to live dangerously, right? Dear me. It's just funny, isn't it? Right, well, I might as well show you this one. Yeah, let's have a look at this. So again, Platychila didn't have any active ones last time. This isn't actually the nicest it's produced. It is very nice, of course, but again, if you look on my Instagram, which if you don't know yet is echo_plants_, or if you just type in echo plants, it'll find it. So again, like I explained in this last video, I think it's kind of confirmed to me now that moving the plant is probably what's caused it to not have its best pictures. Because, like I explained before, it just seems to be going sideways. It doesn't want to grow upwards whatsoever. So I'm trying to, gently, slide it upwards. So it's just vanning in more of an upwards direction. But yeah, I think it's because it's like, whoa, there's too much light in that direction. We're just going to go sideways. But I could be wrong. That's just kind of what I've gathered from it so far. Who knows though? Who knows? Oh yeah, I showed you the Truncata Veitchii as well. So if you can see in there, oh, you can see that. Okay. There's 3 solid-looking basils coming out there, and 2 little shoots coming out that look like they're going to become basils. Whether they actually fully develop into basils or not, we'll see. So since there's so many, I'll probably have some of those going in the future for anyone who's interested. It'll be a while away yet, of course, until they get big enough to be chopped and then rooted and etc. But yeah, I'll always keep 1 basil on as like the new main plant. But if there's ever more than 1, I'll chop the extras off, and that's stuff for trade and sale. 40 minutes. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I need to start thinking about wrapping this up soon. Well, I guess we go for it now, right? Again, I showed you Veitchii Cosmic Candy from the last one. It's just put out a new one, and unfortunately, as you can see, I have broken the lid off. So yeah, slightly unfortunate, but it does happen. I do have a lot of accidents in in the tent, believe it or not. I kind of feel like, the Homer Simpson meme, where it's like, if you imagine the front side is like, my plants kind of look okay and they kind of look healthy and everything like that, and on the back side of the pegged bits of skin or whatever, it's like accidents, broken things everywhere, forgetting to do jobs, pests, this and that. It's it really does feel like that Homer Simpson meme in this tent. But yeah, again, yet again, like I said, I try to put these things in the way to try and stop them from, to try and stop the leaves from deforming. Like I said, the peristomes from deforming as they fold back. And yet, this peristome still got caught on this leaf, and didn't fold back properly. So that's not quite how it's supposed to look. But yeah, I think I'm getting a bit nitpicky, really, of my own plants. I should just appreciate them as they are, which I do. But again, let's have a look at this. The colours in the peristome, lovely complex colours. I will say that a lot because it's a big thing for me. Lovely pink body, and again, this is one of those where it opened, where I just thought, that's opened way too early. There's no way it's going to expand to be a decent sized picture. It just, yeah, it was so small. And yet, again, here's the last picture from the last one. Again, stunning. Very aged now, but still looking great. And this particular plant, I don't know if it's a Veitchii thing or what, but as it's moving towards, well, quote unquote upper pitches, like vine pitches or whatever, it seems to be getting less squat and less of a tall peristome. So I'm hoping once the basil has fully, the pitches are full-size basil pitches, then it'll get the really squat, really tall peristome again. It does have 1 basil picture on it at the minute, actually, which is looking pretty nice. Oh god, am I going to be able to get this proper reach in now? Oh god, okay, let's figure this out. Okay, if you just give us a sec, I'll manage. I'll get it done. Okay, it's not ideal. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'll be honest, I don't know. I'll just have to try and get the camera around and in a position where you can see it. Well, didn't think this one through, did I? Can you... Okay, that's just not ideal, is it, at all? Well, no, that's not... Kind of get an idea. Okay, right, okay. Apologies. From here you can kind of see, again, it's got that really nice tall peristome again. Yeah, shame we can't really get to that one. This is what I mean by only really trying to allow pictures where they can get appreciated, you know. But the basil is looking good. Here's the latest leaf, and this is where the next picture is going to be. So yeah. Yeah, it's doing pretty well in general. But yeah, again, hopefully the next pictures won't have broken lids. Yeah, it's happily growing, you know, not really much to report, it's just chugging on nicely. Just very much hoping for a flower one day. But yeah, if this thing happens to be female, yeah, just the breeding potential that this has, the kind of offspring it would produce. Yeah, I just... Well, you can use your imagination. You can imagine, can't you? If you're familiar with Veitchii and Veitchii hybrids, of course. Yeah, so just having a bit of a look around now, just thinking, I'm sure there's more that I've forgotten. I need to write them down or something. Doing it on the fly, it's not ideal. Yeah, I think I've shown you most of them. There is one under there actually you can kind of see. Again, in a very silly spot. On the Truncata cross Spectabilis northiana. That's on the basil that's grown quite big now and proper vined out. Yeah. Well, we'll just have a very quick think and have a very quick look around, see if there's anything I actually have forgotten. Again, when you press the stop button, stop recording, and then you think, there was one I could show. But yeah. Well, even if that's everything, right? I mean, there's still some nice things among there. Among it all. But yep, did show you that before in the last one. What else? What else? That was one of them, I guess. Well, it's not the craziest thing. It's not nice, but this was just opening the last one as well, wasn't it? The Veitchii Candy Cross Yamada Squat Stripe. It's looking alright, you know, it's looking pretty chill. I reckon as this one gets full size, just a little bit bigger, it'll start to really come into its own. It is nice, it's got a really nice shape, and it's looking like as it gets a bit bigger, it's going to have some good flair as well. No stripes on this one, like I mentioned in the last video. Two beautiful stripy Nepenthes, two stripy beautiful Veitchii parents, and a non-stripy Veitchii offspring. But it's fine, you know, I've got Cosmic Candy for all the stripes, flair, and red body colour I could want. Yeah. Still kind of can't believe this plant, really. That's what I mean, like, watching them go from really small, you know, when you first get them, not really small, because ones from EP are definitely, you know, on at least the medium side. But going from something that looks like nothing, just a very plain, boring Veitchii, to something that ends up like this. Yeah, just watching that transformation is amazing. Yes, right. Okay. Is that everything? I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there is. But I can't think of it. What good is it, right? Okay. I'll step back for another quick overview and I think we'll call that a day. I do need to do a little couple of jobs now because I've moved things like this Bavaria cross Trismadiensis and I need to pop it back in a suitable spot now. I mean, there's the odd little thing, I guess, that I could touch on. In fact, what is that down there? Oh, a little fresh Babidja picture. Is it worth? Oh, well, guess what? I've got the camera, I might as well. But it's really not the best it's put out. This little thing here. Yeah, not the happiest, but it's all right. You know, it's fine. It's chugging on. It doesn't look unhealthy. It's just a bit overcrowded at the minute. And there was this Spectabilis as well. Spectabilis giant in there. Bit of an older picture that I sort of fished out before. Looking pretty nice. But yeah. I showed you the Truncata C giant cross giant last time. Seems really happy. It's older picture there. I've hammered it with fertilizer, so it's really looking a bit, you know, a bit haggard now. And but it is producing this new one here, which again, the leaf size hasn't changed much, but the tendrils got way thicker than the last one. So hopefully that'll be a really nice big picture. We'll see what happens. Well, that could be everything now. Oh, there was that other little one on it. I've definitely shown you the most exciting ones, I'm sure. But I guess for the sake of it, I'll show you this. This is a Ventricosa cross Maxima talangensis. It's really surprised me, this one, actually. It looks, you know, maybe a bit, not the most exciting or whatever, depending on your taste. But the uppers are really nice and stripy. Thoroughly surprised me. So, like, if you were to put the genetics of this one into breeding, it would add a lot of vigor, and, you know, it'd make the offspring really easy to grow. So, I mean, if you cross this something with, like, Cosmic Candy or a nice VGI or a lot of the things in here, really, it should still look really nice, the offspring, and should be a lot easier to grow as well, and a lot quicker. But yeah. Oh, and as I say that as well, it is actually flowering male. It's got a flower back there. I don't know if I do end up harvesting pollen from it. I don't know how I'm going to manage. I can't get back there. Literally, I'd be climbing over all these plants there on the right, so I don't know how I would do that. I'll get creative. I'll do something, I guess. We'll see. I'm gonna have to create a nice thumbnail again, like the last one, I think. I have to decide which pictures to put in it of the ones that I've shown today. I think this probably be one of them. But the camera, the reflection of the light, there's something about it. You can't really see the colour quite as well. This is definitely the one in this video where the phone camera doesn't do it justice at all. Wow. I mean, yeah, it still looks really nice, but yeah, it's one of those, and in person looks ridiculous. And it's got a long way to go as well, so when this gets some good size to it, I'm really excited to see what it can do. Right, is that it? Is that everything? Yeah. Other things worth showing, I think so. Right. Guess I'll wrap it up. Once again, thanks for watching. And again, you know, if you enjoyed it, please give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and you know, all the rest of that thing, the social media things, all that stuff that people want you to do. But yeah, I think that's about everything. Oh god, again, this was supposed to be a short video, you know, just a quick update, and it's ended up being nearly an hour long. How does this happen? I did not think I had this much to talk about. I can just yap on, can't I? Well, I guess if you didn't want to watch it, you can just turn it off, right? So if you can hear me now, you're still here for a reason, right? But yeah, that's about everything that's going on in the tent at the minute. A bit more of a further back overview. Yep. Lovely. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.